Robert Redford grew up in Santa Monica, California. His mother, Martha Hart, passed away when he was young, which had a deep effect on him. His father, Charles Redford, worked as a milkman turned accountant. Redford found escape from grief in art, nature, and movies. He attended Van Nuys High School, where he started to develop an interest in performing arts. He later studied painting at the Pratt Institute in New York and took acting classes at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. His early career was supported by mentors like Sidney Pollack, who directed him in several films. Redford's passion for acting was also influenced by his love for literature and the natural world, which would later be reflected in his work as a director and environmentalist. Robert Redford is a well-known figure in the film industry, both in front of the camera as an actor and behind it as a producer. His work has touched many lives over the years. Now we're curious to hear from you. What qualities do you think make Robert Redford a lasting symbol in film? Has he inspired you or made an impact on your life in some way? We'd also love to hear about your most treasured memory or experience related to Robert Redford. Your stories and memories are important to us, so please share them in the comments. Stay tuned, as we have many interesting, surprising, and touching facts about Robert Redford to share with you. Keep watching to find out more. Robert Redford's journey into film began with a passion for art that was nurtured during his time in Europe. He spent time traveling and living in France, immersing himself in painting and the arts. It was during this period that he started to appreciate storytelling through visuals. His interest in acting was sparked when he began taking classes at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. This was a turning point where he found a new way to express his creativity and tell stories. His early work in theater and television was challenging, but it was these experiences that solidified his love for acting and later producing and directing. Redford's career in film is a testament to his dedication to the craft and his belief in the power of cinema to inspire and provoke thought. Robert Redford is a name that stands out in the history of film. As an actor, he won audiences with his performances, but it was as a producer that he truly showed his skill for storytelling. His work behind the scenes brought to life stories that might have otherwise gone untold. He founded the Sundance Film Festival, which has become a crucial platform for independent filmmakers. This festival has helped launch the careers of many directors and actors. Redford's dedication to cinema not only entertained, but also sparked important conversations through the films he chose to produce. His influence extends beyond the screen, shaping the film industry in lasting ways. Robert Redford faced tough times when he started as a producer. Money was tight, and many did not believe in his ideas. But he did not give up. He found new ways to make films and tell stories that were different from what others were doing. His determination paid off, and he became known for his unique approach to filmmaking. He showed that even when things are hard, you can find a way if you stay strong and think outside the box. In the film A Bridge Too Far, Robert Redford played Major Cook, and his character's M1 rifle was missing an aperture in the rear sight. While working on The Sting, Redford, portraying Johnny Hooker, felt he was just running around rather than acting. To lighten the mood, director George Roy Hill gifted him a nail sculpture of the Roadrunner with a humorous note about speed over perfection. During the same film, Redford and co-star Paul Newman enjoyed playing practical jokes on each other, adding a touch of fun to their work. Robert Redford's career had several key moments that shaped his journey. His role in the 1969 film Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid brought him into the spotlight, pairing him with Paul Newman to create a memorable duo. The success of this film made him a star. Later, his directorial debut with Ordinary People in 1980 won him an Academy Award for Best Director, proving his skill behind the camera. His founding of the Sundance Film Festival in 1981 also stands out. It started as a small gathering and grew into a major event that supports independent filmmakers. People in the film industry admire his work for giving new voices a chance to be heard. His peers say his festival changed how movies are made and shared, giving rise to new talent and stories. In the film All the President's Men, Robert Redford played Bob Woodward, a journalist uncovering a major story. For authenticity, he used the actual White House switchboard number 200-2456-1E414 in a scene. Recognized for his influence, Time magazine listed him among the most significant people in April 2014. When Paramount was casting for Ordinary People, they considered Redford for the lead role of Calvin Jarrett. However, he turned it down, finding it uninteresting, and Donald Sutherland was cast instead. Bruce Dern and Ken Howard were also in the running for this part. Redford's choice shows his careful selection of roles that fit his interests. Robert Redford, as a producer, is known for his thoughtful approach to filmmaking. He often chooses stories that speak to human experiences and social issues. His work reflects a deep respect for nature and a passion for storytelling that engages audiences. Redford's own life, from his early days in Santa Monica surrounded by the arts to his passion for environmental activism, often influences the themes he explores in his films. He has a knack for bringing out the emotional depth in stories, making them relatable and real. His style is characterized by a careful attention to detail and a strong sense of purpose in every project he undertakes. Redford's work is a reflection of his belief in the power of film to inspire and provoke thought. Robert Redford's portrayal of Hubbell Gardner in The Way We Were was marked by a natural romantic tension, partly because his co-star Barbra Streisand had a real-life crush on him. Despite not sharing her feelings, Redford respected her talent and chose to ignore the crush to maintain the film's integrity. Besides his acting, Redford spent time working at Yosemite National Park, where he was immersed in nature. His role as Jeremiah Johnson became widely recognized, especially for the nodding scene that turned into a popular GIF symbolizing approval without words. Robert Redford has been a significant figure in film, both in front of and behind the camera. As a producer, he has encouraged fresh talent and innovative stories. His work on films like Ordinary People and The Horse Whisperer shows his skill in crafting compelling narratives that speak to human experiences. Redford founded the Sundance Film Festival, which has become a critical platform for independent filmmakers to showcase their work. This festival has launched many careers and has been a place where new storytelling methods and trends often first appear. Experts in the field often cite Redford's dedication to authentic storytelling and support for independent voices as key to his lasting influence on cinema. His peers and those who have followed in his footsteps see him as a mentor who has opened doors for more diverse and creative storytelling in film. Robert Redford took on the role of Bob Woodward in All the President's Men because Warner Brothers, the studio funding the film, insisted on having him, a top actor at the time, as part of the deal. During the making of another film, Timothy Hutton shared that Redford had the team treat him as an outsider, mirroring the loneliness of his character. This approach was to ensure his portrayal was authentic. In Jeremiah Johnson, Redford faced tough conditions. Filming started in January 1971, but bad weather nearly stopped the production. Director Sidney Pollack even risked his own finances to keep the film on track. They worked with what they had, often unable to afford reshoots. Redford was key in managing the tight budget, making tough calls to avoid overspending. Despite these challenges, the film was completed, showcasing Redford's dedication to his craft. Robert Redford is known for his love of the environment and commitment to conservation. He has been a longtime supporter of environmental causes, advocating for clean energy and protection of natural habitats. His passion for the environment often reflects in the projects he chooses to work on, aiming to raise awareness and inspire action through film. Redford has also been involved in founding organizations that focus on environmental stewardship and supporting independent filmmakers who highlight social and environmental issues. His dedication to these causes shows his belief in the power of storytelling to influence change and protect the world we live in. Redford's philanthropic efforts extend to supporting arts and education, believing they are essential for a thriving society. He founded the Sundance Institute to help young artists and filmmakers develop their craft and bring diverse stories to the forefront. Through his work and advocacy, Redford demonstrates how personal values can shape a career and contribute to the greater good. Robert Redford's influence in cinema is recognized worldwide, including a special honor in Paris where the #1 seat at the Henry Langlois Cinema is named after him. His directorial decisions have shaped film stories, like in the adaptation of Judith Guest's novel, where he altered the ending to better fit the character's motivations. Redford's collaboration with Sidney Pollack in The Way We Were also reflects his commitment to balanced storytelling, ensuring that both lead roles were fully developed and equal in presence. These choices highlight his dedication to crafting films that are true to the characters and engaging for the audience. Robert Redford has been a leading figure in film for many years. His work as an actor, director, and producer has shown a strong commitment to storytelling and the art of cinema. He founded the Sundance Film Festival, which has become a key place for new filmmakers to show their work. For those starting in the industry, his advice is to stay true to their vision, work hard, and be ready to adapt. He encourages new talent to learn from both success and failure. As for his future, he aims to support environmental causes and promote stories that might lead to positive change. Robert Redford, known for his acting and directing, rarely enjoys watching his own movies. However, he made an exception for The Sting, where he felt fully content with his performance. In 1976, embracing his role as the Sundance Kid from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, he explored the old outlaw trails on horseback for National Geographic and had a conversation with Lula Parker Battinson. While portraying journalist Bob Woodward in All the President's Men, Redford immersed himself in the setting by staying at the Watergate Hotel during the Washington, D.C. filming. Robert Redford's career is a story of a deep love for film and a drive to push boundaries. From acting to directing and then producing, he always sought to bring new ideas to life and tell stories that matter. His work behind the camera gave rise to fresh talent and original storytelling, shaping the future of cinema. His dedication to the craft shows us that with a creative spirit and steady effort, one can inspire change and leave a lasting print on the world. The journey of Robert Redford reminds us that creativity paired with determination is a powerful force that can open new doors and illuminate the path for others to follow. Robert Redford, known for his acting skills, was hesitant to play Hubble Gardner in The Way We Were. Because of this, Ray Stark thought about offering the role to Ryan O'Neal. In 3 Days of the Condor, where Redford played Turner, the team worked hard to make the filming location look like winter, even though they filmed in the fall. They took off leaves from trees carefully, and Redford, who cares a lot about nature, made sure the trees were not harmed. Redford also studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and finished his studies there in 1959. Robert Redford's presence in the entertainment industry has made a notable mark. His name finds a mention in the song Hey Leonardo by Blessed Union of Souls, highlighting his influence in popular culture. In the film Indecent Proposal, he portrayed the character John Gage, and director Adrian Lyne expressed admiration for Redford's natural elegance and movement. Redford's role as Major Cook in A Bridge Too Far involved a critical filming moment known as the $1 Million Hour. The production had just 1 hour to capture a pivotal scene on the Nijmegen Bridge due to traffic restrictions. The pressure was high. Any delay would have resulted in a significant cost increase, including Redford's additional fees. This urgency led to a unique demand from director Sir Richard Attenborough that all actors, even those playing dead, had to keep their eyes shut to avoid ruining the take. Robert Redford's passion for the natural world shines through in his role as Jeremiah Johnson, where he plays a man living in the mountains. This film was a perfect fit for him, aligning with his love for wilderness protection. In Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Redford, portraying the Sundance Kid, initially disagreed with co-star Paul Newman about rehearsing scenes, preferring to keep their performances fresh. However, he ultimately agreed to rehearse in recognition of Newman's approach. A Bridge Too Far saw Redford among a stellar group of actors, including 8 who had won Oscars and 5 who had been nominated, showcasing a remarkable gathering of talent in one film. Robert Redford's direction in the film adaptation of Judith Guest's novel showed a deep understanding of the characters, especially Beth. The film, like the book, presents Beth through the eyes of her family, highlighting the personal nature of grief and how it can separate people who see it differently. Redford also brought to life many characters in films written by William Goldman, showcasing his range as an actor. Off-screen, his personal life includes a long partnership with German painter Bile Shaggers Redford, starting in 1996. This relationship has been a significant part of his life away from the camera. Robert Redford took on the role of Turner in the film 3 Days of the Condor, which led to his roles in other spy films like Sneakers and Spy Game, as well as political dramas including Lions for Lambs and All the President's Men. He also started the Sundance Film Festival, named after his character from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. In his personal life, Redford married Sybil Shaggers in 2009 at the Louis C. Jacob Hotel in Germany. Robert Redford shared a similar life event with Paul Newman, as both experienced the loss of their firstborn sons named Scott. In his acting career, Redford took on the role of John Gage in Indecent Proposal, and the music for this film was composed by John Barry, who had previously collaborated with Redford on Out of Africa. Barry also composed the score for The Scarlet Letter, featuring Demi Moore. Another notable role of Redford was Major Cook in A Bridge Too Far. For this film, producer Joseph E. Levine revealed that distributors were particularly keen on having Redford involved, with him being the most sought-after foreign star, even more than Sir Sean Connery. Robert Redford cares deeply about the environment and works hard to protect nature. In the film Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, he played the Sundance Kid, and there was a thought to use a modern folk song for the movie's theme, which would have been out of place for its historical setting. His role as Jeremiah Johnson showed a change in his acting style, focusing more on internal emotions, guided by the film's director, Sidney Pollack. Redford's work in these films shows his range as an actor and his commitment to his beliefs. In the world of film, not every idea gets a warm welcome. Robert Redford knew this well when he pitched his project to Paramount. Despite the lack of enthusiasm from Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg, Barry Diller saw potential and gave it the green light. This decision led to Redford's memorable performance as Johnny Hooker in The Sting, even while nursing a broken thumb. His injury, a result of a skiing mishap, meant he had to adapt, cleverly using his hand in ways that wouldn't aggravate the thumb. Off-screen, the atmosphere was lighter, with Paul Newman playing a prank on Redford that involved hiding his beloved Porsche, leading him to believe it had been stolen. Such moments added a layer of real-life humor to the on-screen drama. Robert Redford took on the role of Turner in 3 Days of the Condor, leading a cast that included Faye Dunaway, Cliff Robertson, Max von Sydow, and John Houseman. In The Electric Horseman, he played Sonny alongside Jane Fonda, who has portrayed characters opposite two different Normans in her career. The editing process for Jeremiah Johnson, where Redford played the title character, was extensive, lasting over 7 months. Director Sidney Pollack described the film as being crafted from the atmosphere and the actors' performances rather than a traditional narrative. Robert Redford has been a part of the Kappa Sigma fraternity since his college days at the University of Colorado. His commitment to authenticity was evident in his role as the Sundance Kid, where he insisted on performing his own stunts, despite concerns from co-star Paul Newman. In his portrayal of Hubble Gardner in The Way We Were, Redford's character's charm was highlighted in a memorable scene where he humorously answered a question about Barbra Streisand's attire with a witty remark, showcasing his character's laid-back and smooth personality. In the film Indecent Proposal, Robert Redford played the wealthy John Gage, with Randy West acting as his body double for certain scenes. During the making of Ordinary People, Judith Guest, the author of the book the film was based on, discussed her character Beth with Redford. She expressed her struggle to portray Beth sympathetically, as she didn't see her as a villain despite others' dislike for the character. Redford reassured her that for the film's purpose, Beth's portrayal was effective. Redford's own movie, Downhill Racer, faced challenges before production. He was initially set to star in Rosemary's Baby, but after turning it down, Downhill Racer was canceled multiple times. Eventually, Redford's production company took over, and the film moved forward. These instances show Redford's involvement in his projects, both as an actor and a producer, shaping the film's direction and characters. Robert Redford, a well-known actor and director, made choices in his career that shaped his path in the film industry. He turned down leading roles in several major films from the 1960s and 1970s, including Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Graduate, Rosemary's Baby, Love Story, and The Day of the Jackal. Despite these decisions, he found success with roles in films written by William Goldman, such as Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid and All the President's Men, where he played Bob Woodward. His work with Goldman spanned 5 films, showcasing a strong actor-screenwriter collaboration. Redford's journey into directing began with a film where he took a minimal salary, aligning with the Directors Guild's lowest pay grade. This move to directing was a long-held ambition, and he transitioned into this role right after completing work on Brubaker, which had an extended shooting schedule. This quick switch demonstrated his dedication to pursuing his goal of directing, marking a new chapter in his career in the film industry. In the film A Bridge Too Far, Robert Redford played Major Julian Cook, who led a bold River Assault lieutenant in a memorable scene. He confronts a British officer for not advancing, accusing him of stopping to drink tea. This incident was based on a real event, but it involved Captain T. Moffat Burris, not Major Cook. Burris threatened a British tank officer to move forward or face serious consequences. For All the President's Men, Redford, portraying journalist Bob Woodward, initially wanted Al Pacino to play his colleague Carl Bernstein. However, the role went to another actor. In The Way We Were, Redford's character, Hubble Gardner, and Barbra Streisand's character had a relationship full of contrasts. Off-screen, Streisand and Redford also had their differences, but shared mutual respect. This dynamic helped them portray their characters authentically, enhancing the film's story about love and ideals. Robert Redford's portrayal of Bob Woodward in All the President's Men was a significant role, and there was a clear dispute about the screenplay's authorship. Richard Staten resolved this by confirming William Goldman as the sole writer. In Indecent Proposal, Redford played John Gage and humorously missed his exit cue during an auction scene, distracted by Billy Connolly's jokes. Among all the characters he's brought to life, Redford holds his role as the Sundance Kid in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid closest to his heart, naming it his favorite. These insights into Redford's career highlight his experiences and connections with his roles. Robert Redford has been a guiding light in film and television for many years. His work as a producer has brought us stories that touch our hearts and open our minds. From the movies that made us laugh to the ones that made us think, his talent has been a gift to viewers everywhere. Let's honor his dedication to the arts by sharing our favorite moments from his career. What film or show produced by Robert Redford has stayed with you? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy celebrating the people who bring magic to our screens like this video, share it with friends and subscribe for more. Your support helps keep the spirit of creativity alive in entertainment.